Hello, my loves, and welcome to this reading. It's good to see you. And if you're new here, I always like to give a little heads up. My readings might not be quite what you're used to from other readers. They're quite unique. They can be quite the journey. I like to dive deep. And yeah, if you like that kind of thing, if you like journeys and getting to the core of things, you're in the right place. So let's get started. I already got a bit of energy, and I need to tune in a bit more just to make sure what it is. Okay. Yeah, okay. So this is unusual for me, but this is what some people might call an angel's message, or like their guardian angel coming through. Yeah, it's a very light, very high vibrational energy. It also might be in. Okay, so there are a few different concepts here. I'm not used to working with what people would call angels. I don't really work with angels. I doesn't matter. The question is like, how do you conceptualize it? It is a well-meaning spiritual energy, and a well-meaning spirit, someone who's guarding you and guiding you. So it could be angels, it could be ancestors, it could be a god, goddess, archetypes, your higher self. Okay, so they are navigating you through an important process of taking the wheel of your life into your own hand. And I'm drawn to, there's like this little collection of vintage cars, like those models. So I'm at my mom's place, and she inherited those from, I think, a grand aunt or someone like that. So it's something, there's something about ancestry. There's something about something is being inherited, passed down. Could be literally a love for cars. So that might be, or vintage cars, or collecting those kind of things. So it really could be meant very, very literal. But I also feel like this is not just that. Like there is okay, so there's an indecisiveness here, because it's like there are those four cars and they have different colors. There's black, red, blue, and white. And they're all nice. And so there's this, oh, do I want to have like the sporty red one? That's really cool. But the black one is kind of classy, and the white one is like really old school. I mean, that is kind of unique. Or the blue one, it looks cute, you know. They're like all those different options. Going away from the cars now. The car in especially like in dream interpretation is often seen as your life. By the way, it's important to, if you take notice of your dreams, and dream energy was present when I tuned in already. So there might be something about like you taking note of your dreams. And if you dream of cars, see if you are in the driver's seat or if someone else is driving, because we always want to be the ones who are driving the cars in our dreams, because that usually means that we are in charge of our own journey, of our own life. If someone else is driving, that means that we give up too much power, give away too much power. So yeah, but there seems to be this indecisiveness with too many options. And they want you to understand that this is something, and it seems like maybe you're beating yourself up about this a bit. Like, okay, so I get something about ADD or a scattered mind or a multi-passionate person. And it's like, I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to judge if you have those kind of conditions or not. They just want you to understand that this is because it's easy to outsource it and to say, oh, this is who I am, or that's like the character trait I have. I mean, those are not conditions. I said condition. It's not. But it's like outsourcing that into whatever we project onto ourselves. Like it can be a way of saying like, oh, I can't change because I have ADD. This is how I am because I'm a multi-passionate person, or I'm just like a scatterbrain or whatever. And there is this. Okay, so they really want me to talk about ADD. Again, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a doctor. I'm very interested in those topics. I have read a lot. This is my view, and this is what I am given by the guidance here. So always use your discernment, take what resonates, maybe just think about it, see it as inspiration. Okay. There are debates about where ADD comes from, and there are certain professionals who actually have the what is the word? Sorry. They are convinced. It's not the right word, but let's roll with it. They are convinced that this is trauma induced, or it could be trauma induced. That ADD is something that we develop through traumatic events and continuous trauma in our early childhood. And this reminds me of another reading I did a few weeks ago. I'm going to link it up here. You can check it out. Well, I already talked about that. And so there's this party that is saying, yeah, this is trauma induced, and it is actually possible to heal the trauma and then, and as a result, also get a better grip on that ADD or ADHD. And there are those people and professionals who say like, no, that's just it. You have it, and you have to deal with it. And that just like more like a behavior therapy, or like learn how to deal with it, but not really go to the root. So I myself am a person, I always want to look at the root. I am a strong believer of that everything has a cause, and that you can, energetically speaking, go to the core of things and find out what's going on. So might be worth a try. Just putting that out there. Okay, Gabor Maté, I think Scattered Mind is a book by Gabor Maté. He used to be a family doctor and has ADD himself, or ADHD. And yeah, wrote several books on. They're all good. They're all amazing. I love his talks, and you can watch them on YouTube. And yeah, like I said, he wrote that book, Scattered Mind. It's called Gabor Maté. I'm going to link it in the description. So yeah, right, the indecisiveness. So there's something about maybe some kind of childhood trauma, or oh my God, this energy, yeah. It's hard to find words today. Hard to find words today. Probably picking up a bit on that scattered energy. I can definitely tell, like, it's hard to focus. It's hard to focus. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this together. Close your eyes. I know, weirdest reading ever, but trust me. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And really feel your inner core center channel. And now pay attention to where your energy is. And just imagine the space around you. And if you're not a visual person, feel into it. Whatever way of, like, whatever your skills are, whatever, you have them. If you don't see it, don't stress out. It's okay. So just sense into it with whatever senses you have available to you. Sense into it and see where your energy is right now and how does it feel? How does it look like? For me, it's like really going outwards. It's like beaming light out. And it's a bit like, it's frizzling out a bit on the edges. So maybe I'm a bit too unclear with my boundaries, might be. And what I'm going to do now is that I'm calling back in everything that I scattered, that I pushed out, and that does not belong wherever I scattered it, but to call it back to me. And I'm doing that now. Yeah, and now I see all those pieces coming, flying in. And immediately I feel less tired, and I feel more centered, and I feel more focused. And you can do that anytime. Anytime you feel scattered, you feel all over the place, you can do that. You can just sit down and call your energy back. And I feel way more centered now and calmer. And let's get into that reading now. Told you, my readings are a little different. Still here? Still at that deck? Yes. Okay. We have Between Worlds and Deep Knowing in reverse. Okay, you're someone who is quite capable of jumping around between different realms, different spheres. You can hold a lot at the same time. And this is part of your gift. It's also part of your Achilles heel, and that is a very normal thing. Like that's usually it. Like, and by learning to master that, you can turn your, what you might see as like your biggest flaw into gold and into your mastery, basically. Because when you learn to master it, like that's the skill you really, really learned and make your own in this life. So it's really about coming into that center line and to learn to walk the edge. To walk the edge. With the deep knowing in reverse, there are self-doubts about that. And I feel like there are a lot of outside voices that are coming and seeding doubts, which leads you to question your abilities, and then there's, so then there are those, I'm calling them excuses. I don't mean it in a negative way. It's like, but it's like this, that you feel like the need to justify yourself. And so something like, oh, I have ADD is, and it's a very reasonable thing, right? To say, like, oh, okay, so I'm not good at this because I have ADD. And at some point in our journey, that's very healthy and that is very helpful, because we learn to not beat us up that much anymore and to say, oh, wow, so this is who I am. This is why I behave that way. And it helps us self-understand and not to feel like, oh, I'm just a hot mess. And like, why can't I what others can do? Like, why am I so incapable? So, but that is one point in your healing journey. And to me, it looks like you are beyond that point, and it might become a crutch to say, oh, I cannot change. I cannot do that. I cannot follow my dreams. I cannot follow through, because if we want to follow our dreams, we can't follow through, and we can't follow through with what needs to be done, then we don't step into our power. And stepping into our power is so scary. And so sometimes we use that as an excuse why we don't step into our power, why we cannot do it. Yeah, Treasure Island. You, like, your skills, your capabilities, they are a treasure chest. They're a treasure chest. And there are a whole lot of readings on my channel that have been speaking about this. Like, you're sitting on a treasure, and it's like, it's true for the whole collective. It's a topic. It's a topic that's coming through. Like, they're like all those insanely talented and smart people who have been told their entire lives that they're too much, that they are not focused enough, that they're just, scatterbrained, all of those things, and that this is why they're wrong. And so they internalized that what is actually their gift is something that is wrong. With a leg up, there's some kind of help that wants to come through. That is also like, there's some kind of help available for you. And what is that help? Okay, going to the tarot. Okay, so there is something about tarot. Okay, watch yourself when you're watching tarot readings. Is it actually helpful, or do you feel like you become even more ungrounded, uncentered, and scattered? because that can happen. And I'm saying that as a tarot reader. Been there, done that. Six of Wands and Seven of Swords reversed. Okay, so with the Seven of Swords is often coming back to the tarot readings. With the more common tarot readers, they usually read the Seven of Swords as a card of betrayal. I don't. But what was interesting when it came out, I got that little ping of, oh no. And there's some kind of fear coming through with that. So for one, again, watch out for how certain tarot readings are making you feel. Do you feel anxious or do you feel empowered when you come out of them? They don't always have to feel pleasant, because like when it really is something that is helping you grow, it can be challenging to hear it. But do you come out of it and feel like, oh wow, that was maybe not easy to hear, but I feel like there was something valuable in there that helps me grow? Or do you come out of it and you feel anxious? And you feel like something bad is going to happen, or maybe they told you that something great is going to happen, but you can't believe it, or you do not trust it. You don't feel like, oh, I can trust that message that came through. And so you're kind of anxious, and then you flip-flop between the is it going to happen or not? Can I believe it? Can I trust it? Can I dare to hope for it? And so, I mean, the Swords suit is about thoughts, and the Seven of Swords is actually calling us to look within and to look at ourselves and to see and understand where we are focusing our energy on things that are actually not meant to be focused on right now. And I hear people asking like, huh? Like I said, I thought that has to do with betrayal, and I like, where does that come from? Well, the energy of betrayal. When you're met with someone who's betraying you in the outside world, the universe is actually trying to mirror an aspect of yourself back to you. So if someone is betraying you, you can ask yourself, okay, why is this showing up? Why am I a match to that? And why is it showing up for me in that way? Where am I betraying myself? Where am I self-sabotaging, maybe? Where am I? And this is happening, of course, not consciously, not with ill intention. This is what we all do. But am I maybe harming myself by doing that? Am I preventing myself to actually step into my power, to actually embrace what I'm capable of? And by manipulating or sabotaging myself, I'm kind of betraying myself. So what the Seven of Swords is asking us to do is go inside and look at our own, like, what is actually my business right now? Like, where do I have to focus my energy on right now? Because the Seven of Swords often is that we are scattering our energy somewhere, or my mental energy somewhere where it's actually not supposed to be right now. You are asked to call it back in and to focus on what is actually happening in this moment and what deserves your attention in the here and now. It came out in reverse. So you are in the process of changing something about that. You actually are trying to get a grip on it, on that self-sabotaging, and I'm calling it that now. Whatever your mind is doing in order to protect you, it is a form of self-sabotage. It is a form of self-betrayal. And you are actually in the process of looking at that and leveling out of it and trying to get out of it. Maybe that is even why you're looking for help, and questioning things. And I do see that this is what will bring you, like, you will be successful, for one, in getting through that energy and getting out of that energy. And also, this will help you become successful with whatever it is you're trying to create. Okay, I can feel the doubt here. I can feel, I'm quite blunt now. I can feel the doubt about what I said about the Seven of Swords. And kind of like questioning my capability as a reader. Because, like, who am I to say that this is like the real meaning of the card? I'm not. I didn't make that stuff up. Like, I learned it from my tarot teacher, who is brilliant, Lindsay Mack. You can look her up. Tarot for the Wild Soul. She's amazing. But so this thing about, like, I'm calling it a lashing out. I'm calling it a, like, projecting onto, again, outwards. And there's like this attacking energy behind it, of the ego, in order to, and this is like that suits the swords suit to say, like, to use doubt in order to attack, using doubt in order to attack, to not trust. And it's a, you know what? And that is also this thing with, well, what you actually should be looking at is this sword, but like, we are actually like looking at all those other swords. So it's a distraction. By doubting what I said about that card and doubting my capability as a reader, and that I know my stuff, this might be a way of distracting from what the message actually is. So this might be your ego trying to distract from the truth of this message, which is that there is some form of self-sabotage happening. So this is where, like, the ego is doing exactly what I was just talking about. Thanks for making my point. So if you caught yourself doubting me, or like doubting what I said about the Seven of Swords, yeah, That might be a thing to look at. Um, what else? Okay, the tarot again. We're not entirely done yet. I'm drawn to an orchard over there. I'm not entirely sure what the meaning of orchards is. I just... wasn't it something about awakening or enlightenment? I'm not sure. If you know it, let me know in the comments. Okay, so there's something on the way. Something is in the making for you. So there's this confirmation, like it's happening. But there also is like this with the Ace of Swords, like there is a this new mindset, like there is something in your mind that has to gain a fresh perspective. And now I'm getting again with that tarot interpretation, it's coming through pretty loudly with this reading. Again, like it might be times to have a really honest look at your tarot readers that you're watching and see how they make you feel and see if they actually help you. How long have you been watching them? How long have you been listening to their messages? And how valuable was it actually for your life and your progression? And be really, really honest with yourself. This might be quite uncomfortable, and it might... So there is a path you're trying to walk, and it is not an easy path. And you're walking through the darkness, and there is like a deep valley. I do see a deep valley, and this is the moon card for me. Like we are walking through a deep valley, and we don't really see very far. And like we do see maybe the next step, if we're lucky, depending on what kind of a moon night it is. Is it a full moon? Is it a new moon? If it's a new moon, it's very, very dark. If it's a new moon, you can see pretty much, but it's still night. But because this is in reverse, there is something to it. Like there, I get a bit of a stuck energy. Like, again, is this really helping you? Like whatever you're trying to use in order to find clarity, is it helping you? And again, like your guides, those that well-meaning energy that I felt in the beginning, where I said, is it angels? Is it... okay, maybe someone is watching a lot of like angel messages or interpreting angel numbers. And it seems like you're getting a whole lot of confirmation. Like, yes, something is on the way. Yes, something is coming in. But then, does it happen? Does it really happen? And so there is this thing about like this scatterbrain. This is what you need to resolve. Because it's, you know, we need to become active in our own lives. We have to, like, yes, we get guidance. Yes, we get support. But our spirit guides, they cannot live life for us. Like, we have to be the ones who actually do something about it. We have to step into action. And so it feels like there's something wanting to come in, but in order for it to come in, it needs something from you. So what does it need from you? Okay, we are making this like very clear. What does this manifestation that wants to come in, what does it need from you? And then what is your first next step that you can take? Okay, back to the tarot. So what does it need from you? The Champion of Vessels. And I'm reading it as the archetype, not the reversal this time. So mastering your internal world, like mastering your emotions. Also that creative flow that is inside of you, those impulses you get, and those creative urges that you maybe get. And so this is the Knight of Cups. Learning to hold your cup still so that you can actually make use of what is inside of your cup, to not spill it all or to just, scatter it all. Take rest, and not, sometimes I'm quite honest, like I'm no different. I can look at this reading and say like, might learn a thing or two in here. There's like this when this surge of energy comes, and then we get creative, and then we just pour it all out, and then there's nothing left. So there's this, learn to balance it, learn to spread it out a bit, and take the rest in between that you need. Okay, last card, last advice. What is the next step? What is the first step? And there it already is. The Proclaimer. In reverse. It came out in reverse. Okay, such a complex topic. I'm breaking it down into learn to trust yourself again. Really focus on sharpening your intuition, your own intuition. Don't outsource to other readers, to other people, especially if you realize or feel like you become like more uncertain and doubtful than you were before. Really, really sharpen your own intuitive gifts and learn discernment. Is this for me or not? And tarot do tarot readings. Put them out there. So tarot readings can be a helpful and valuable tool, and they are great. I love it. But there can be too much of it, and especially like if they start to confuse us, and if we start to doubt it, or if we just like look for more confirmation and more positive messages, and then not go out and put into practice what we actually received through those tarot messages, then nothing can come in. So it is about like coming into your own inner authority. Become your own inner authority again, and don't scatter your energy and give away your power in that way. Okay, I'm getting something about try to sharpen your intuition, like connect in with your intuition to journal, to sit with yourself in quiet and see what's coming through. And I know this can be hard for like those brains that are always talking. But after a while, the thoughts will calm down. So this is why journaling is so great. Just journal it out until finally the mind got to say what it has to say. And Entschuldigung. Sorry. Speaking German now. Okay. So yeah, it just needs to get out. It just needs like the release for the brain. My brain feels very relaxed now. And yeah, and then see like what does your intuition actually has to tell you. All right, my loves. This was a rather long one. Thanks for being here. Thanks for contributing your time and energy. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more of it, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Helps me and the channel grow. Helps me do this work. And yeah, I love you so much. I wish you all the best and take good care until we see each other in the next video. Until then, bye.